What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero. Check out the second channel, because the second channel is popping, aka the real Super Mario, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here, bringing you another video. All right, so we have some interesting stories for you today. So we have a couple of 4chan text dumps. I'm gonna try something different this week. Today, I'm gonna do one in the beginning. I'm gonna give you a 4chan sandwich. So I'm gonna do one in the beginning of the video and one at the end of the video to see how it works out. So I got a Legend ZA 4chan leak, and I have a slightly different one we're gonna talk about. Of course, talk about the Sony stuff. So there's been a massive shakeup at Sony. We're gonna talk about some more Marvel Rivals issues. Big Overwatch news that literally dropped like minutes before I started recording this. So I had to rearrange the stories a little bit. We got an update on the Kyoto animation disaster from back in 2019, and a lot more today. Of course, we're going to continue getting videos like this from me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all the stuff that YouTube requires you to do. To continue getting videos from me, follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video, tweet, share my video, tweet, and I'll shout you out this portion of the video. As well as check me out on TikTok. I finally decided to make a TikTok. I'm going to start dropping shorts over there momentarily. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how this goes. Bear with me. I am an old man when it comes to TikTok. I have no idea how it works, so bear with me. But we getting there though. So let's get on into it. So we're going to start off the first of two 4chan text dumps of the evening. Starting off with the Legend ZA one. This one says, Legend ZA leaks by the Jizzle. I'm not going to read all that. I'm going to reveal some ZA stuff. I'm probably going to look dumb, but here we go. Anyways, don't worry about it. It's the internet. We all look dumb. We talk about Pokemans on the internet. So this game takes place alongside Legends Arceus. You work with a Paldean moving company. They start the beautification project and want to know what the regional Pokemon like, so they start living in the city. It's implied the city was destroyed by a war, but never outright stated. The leader of the beautification project is a Lysander ancestor. You get your starter from a Nemona ancestor. Nemona? Why would you get your starter from a Nemona ancestor? Okay. There is a side quest where you work with a Kurt ancestor to make new Pokeballs and buy them from the shop. So this actually seems pretty cool. I like the idea of this taking place in the same time period as Legends Arceus. Like they both take place concurrently. I actually think that's pretty good. I mean, you know, because this way, it kind of, I like the one of the biggest elements I like from Legends Arceus was that it was in the past and that old school feeling and going out into the wild. So this actually kind of works. The thing is, what we've seen from Legends ZA is it looks fairly modern. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that would work unless maybe, you know, they modernize like way earlier than we ever thought. So while, you know, Hisui was very wild and untamed, Paldea was not. You know, I mean, not Paldea. Kalos was not. You know what I'm saying? Which that kind of fits. You know, it kind of fits. It says, now for the stuff you care about, new Pokemon and forms. Milk Tank, Fairy, White Holstein Cow. What is a Holstein cow? Like,
a few moments later.
So it's just a regular looking cow. I thought it was gonna be something different, but it looks like a regular cow to me. But it's gonna be a fairy type, so that's pretty cool. The Gligar line is a rock fighting type, which I sound kind of fire. You know, a rock fighting Gligar. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's ground based, so it's not flying anymore. So, you know, okay. Nepetide, which is a Sea King evolution. It's going to be Water Steel. Lockamore, which is going to be a Love Disc evolution. It's going to be Water Fairy type. So, you know, put a F in the chat for all the Momolomomo fans who thought that, you know, maybe one day the Alomomomolo and the Love This line will be connected. But no. Carnivise, a Carnivine convergent steel type which uses milky sweets to lure them in and eat them based on an oven. Okay, that sounds kind of fire, right? Like a pun not intended. A steel type Carnivine, because you know Carnivine is a Venus flytrap, right? So it's a carnivorous plant, a carnivorous vine, so to speak. So Carnivise, that actually sounds really good. That was good. I don't know if Nintendo would do that, you know, but it sounds good though. And of course, Garchomp is a water dragon. It's gonna be an actual shark, which that sounds about right. You know what I'm saying? Because Garchomp's gonna get something in this game, be it a regional, another mega, a convergent, something. All right, he getting something in this game more than likely. It says we are not allowed to take phones into the studio, so I drew these so I can remember. Don't care enough to make them look good, and so you know what I'm saying. We've got like a bipedal milk tank. We've got bipedal flightless Gligar, and we've got Sea King with a beard. So I mean, the Sea King one doesn't even look half bad, to be honest. So far, I actually think this looks pretty good. I like the new forms, evolutions. I like the idea that it's concurrent with Legends Arceus. It sounds kind of probable, but it's probably fake. Remember, it's 4chan, you know. All right, so we move on to the big breaking news of the day. So right when I was getting ready to start filming this, Dexerto dropped this story. It says Overwatch 2 is getting a 6v6 competitive mode in season 15 to see if they should swap to 6v6 permanently. I don't like this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna do the 6v6 video tomorrow. So I figured out what I wanted to say. I've redone the video like 3 times. I know what I want to say now. But yeah, I'm not too happy with this. Well, no, let me correct that. I'm happy that we're gonna get a competitive mode for 6v6 because 6v6 is fun. I don't think we need to switch to 6v6 permanently. Alright, because 5v5 is still good. Limit 2 was so good. Alright, and Limit 2 is like a million times better than freaking what is it? Limit 1 or whatever the 6v6 equivalent is, bro. I played that. Look, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of what I was saying in the 6v6 video, but bro, I played that daggone Limit 1. That jet was trash, okay? It was mainly 1, 2, 3 comps, right? Or basically a arrangement of that. So either it's 1 tank, 3 DPS, and 2 supports, or it's 2 supports, 3 DPS, and 1 tank. And that's really it. Rarely did you get multi-tank comps, like three tanks. Sometimes, like when people just didn't want to switch, like because there was one game where there was this one guy that just kept like insta-picking Malga for some reason, and he refused to switch. I was playing Sigma. I'm not switching. All right. So we just ran 3 tanks. We ran like Malga, Sigma, and I think we ran like a Zarya or something. You know what I'm saying? We won, but it was weird. But that was one of the only times I ever ran into 3 tank comps. Most of the time, it was always 3 DPS. All right, and it felt like trash because, 6v6 has no tank passive, right? But it has the DPS passive. And none of the DPS were really nerfed from 5v5 too much. So you're dealing with like crazy DPS damage with 3 of them. That is crazy. It doesn't feel like, you don't feel like a tank. It just feels, it feels almost as bad as like season 9 tanking, you know? But I think this is going to be interesting to see how this goes, but I don't think 6v6 should replace 5v5. I'm gonna be honest with you. Alright, so then we move on to the Pokemon news. So we got Pokemon news, and the first thing I wanted to talk about today was this daggone life-size Gardevoir plushie. Who thought this was a good idea? Alright, who thought this was a good idea? Who said, yeah, we should do a life... Well, I mean, doing life-size Pokemon is cool, like life-size Pokemon plushies, because, like, yo, a life-size Snorlax beanbag chair, I want that. I want that in my life. Okay, that would be in my in my den, like right now. Okay, all right, life-size Snorlax beanbag chair, awesome. You know what I'm saying? But a life-size Gardevoir? Why is this the first one? They knew what they was doing. All right, they knew there's a Gooner somewhere. All right, well, we all know that there are Gooners in Game Freak. We saw the Terra leaks. We know what went down with Typhlosion, Hisuian Typhlosion. We know what went down. But the fact is, you know what I'm saying? What's up with this? Why Gardevoir? You know what's gonna happen to this thing, man. All right, look. If you ever run across this in a secondhand store, run. Do not buy it, okay? Terrible things have happened to it, all right? Good Lord, bro. So the next story we have here is from He Who Shall Not Be Named. It seems like there's new Artifacts J figures of Callum with Froakie announced coming from Kyoto Bukia. So basically, we're getting merch now. We're getting Generation 6 merch. So this is leading up to Legends ZA. All right. Now, I don't think this confirms you'll be playing as Callum or the other chick in Legends ZA. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to get a different protagonist. We talked about a possible MC a couple days ago in the last video. But this is basically all building into Legends ZA. And so far, these look pretty good. I don't own any Pokemon figures. I own like Pokemon Amiibos, but this looks kind of clean though. I might need to add another figurine to my collection, you know. So, Cerebi update. So, it says a special distribution of a flying Terra-type Eevee is to run in stores in the US, Canada, Australia from February the 7th through February 27th. So I'm guessing this is running in like most like retail stores where you could buy Pokemon games, because he doesn't say what stores they're running in. But I'm assuming it's going to be like GameStop, Walmart, you know, Best Buy, places where you can buy physical copies of the games. So this scale kind of clean. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of like you know, these type of distributions. I would like an event or some way to get it in game. But flying Terra type Eevee though, that might be kind of lit. You know what I'm saying? That might be kind of lit though, you know. All right, so next one we have is the most hated mystery gift in Pokemon. So, this was a Pokemon Home mystery gift. It says, receive special mystery gifts for completing specific Pokédexes in the mobile device version of Pokemon Home. Grab Shiny Enamorus for completing the Hisui Dex, and a Shiny Manaphy for completing the Sinnoh Dex. And so the reason why this is hated, because it's kind of hard to complete both of these Pokédexes, particularly the Hisui Dex, because trying to find Chirim, oh man, like it's not easy. All right, I'm gonna have to get back up in there, you know what I'm saying? But the real one is gonna be that Manaphy one. All right, that's gonna be the real Elden Ring boss level challenge, because that means that you have to play Pokemon BDSP. We know how much everybody hates BDSP. So speaking of something else everybody hates, we have the trading system in Pokemon TCG Pocket. So yeah, it's kind of booty cheeks, and I kind of expected this, because if they did the trading any other way, it would kill the economy of the game. So So basically, they made a chart. It says, I found this chart that explains exactly how awful the trade token system is. So you've got your rarities, and then you can sell cards, you know what I'm saying, to get like, you know, trade items, because you need items and tokens in order to be able to trade. And then you can trade tokens, you know, then it shows you how much tokens are required to execute a trade at that level. So you get 0 tokens for 1 diamond and 2 diamond, you know, cards. But for 3 diamond cards, you get 25. 4, you get 125. For 1 star diamonds, 1 star, you get 100. 2 star, 300. 3 star, 300, which that doesn't make sense. And then for like the big super duper rare cards, you get gold crown cards, you get 100. You get 1,500 tokens. So now of course it's required to have 500 tokens to trade a 4 diamond card, and 400 tokens to trade a 1 star card, and you can't trade anything above a 1 star, which the system is kind of booty cheeks. But I mean, if they needed to implement a trading system, I guess this is the way they would do it. But yeah, it's booty cheeks. I haven't tried it yet, but nobody seems to like this. Alright, so we move on to Switch 2 information. So we have He Who Shall Not Be Named Yet Again says Nintendo Switch Online is getting a price increase in Latin America, including Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, and Peru. Details have been sent via email. So essentially, they're hiking up the price of Pokemon Nintendo Switch Online. Now the thing is, we don't know how much they're hiking it up, but I feel like this is a testing ground. They're gonna test this in, you know, Latin America, you know what I'm saying, and then they're probably gonna move it everywhere else, more than likely. And I think one good thing about this is it could mean that there's going to be an expansion to Nintendo Switch Online. So, you know, people have been speculating, like, with the C button on the Switch 2 being like some kind of communication tool, like a Nintendo Discord type of deal. People have hinted at like type of VTuber-ish features, like, you know, where you can kind of have a virtual avatar, like a MeTuber, so to speak. People have also speculated of them bringing new games to Nintendo Switch Online, like new consoles. Like, I'm really hoping for DS and 3DS. Like, people want a Wii and GameCube. Like, look, that's all well and good. Put 3DS and DS on Nintendo Switch Online, and bruh, I will get an expansion pack tomorrow, okay? Because I don't even have the expansion pack, because I thought the expansion pack was stupid. But if you put DS and 3DS on there, guaranteed I'll have that sucker tomorrow. So, more Switch 2 information. We have Nintendo Switch 2 price rumor could be the most exciting thing about the new console. So, this is from Tom's Guide. Now, of course, the price more than likely is probably going to be around $400. I say $450 is the sweet spot, because they need the price to be above $300 so it can feel like a new piece of tech, you know? Because if it's too cheap and it's kind of low powered, or at least people assume it's low powered, it's not going to feel important enough for people to really want to buy it, you know? So it says, even after Nintendo officially revealed the Switch 2 earlier this month, we're still getting leaks about the upcoming console on a near weekly basis. Of course, since Nintendo didn't actually unveil anything specific about the Switch 2 or outline the games, you can imagine why the leaks are still coming ahead of the potential April debut. As spotted by our friends at Laptop Mag, Italian retailer gamesandmovies.it, it's a Nintendo Switch 2 page with a pre-order price of €364.99. A quick USD to Euro conversion calculator reveals that price is $380. Now, different regions see different price points. But this suggests that the Switch 2 could cost around $399 in the United States. And that's about that's a perfect price. All right, that's kind of a perfect price. 450 is the sweet spot because again it feels new and it feels like, oh yeah, this is 450. Anything above that feels a little bit expensive, and anything below 400, 450 feels too cheap. Feels way too cheap. Now the thing is, how are the tariffs going to affect this? So if you live in America, which most of my fan base tends to live in America, that the God King has bestowed upon us tariffs. So he has put in all kind of trade tariffs. Donald Trump put in all kind of Trump trade tariffs, and basically what's going to happen is there is a tax selling goods into America, and so of course companies are going to increase the prices of their goods in order to pay for the tariff. All right, so this could increase the price of electronic goods. I mean, there was a tariff put on Taiwan, so chip prices are gonna go up. So good luck getting a new graphics card anytime soon. So yeah, interesting times we're living in, I can tell you that much. So we move on to Overwatch. So the first of several Overwatch stories we have, Overwatch Cavalry says bots added to quick play at Overwatch 2, and I was pretty disappointed with this because I just talked about at length the bots in Marvel Rivals. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a bad idea. And so now Overwatch is doing it. It's like a monkey see, monkey do situation. So now of course they kind of tell you how this is gonna work. It says exclusively as part of the new player experience, newcomers may face AI-controlled opponents in their first few matches of quick play. Skilled players on fresh accounts will be seeded into higher MMR more quickly. So basically, if you make a new account, all right, you're gonna get some bot games, but if you burn through them bot games real quick, they're gonna put you in a higher MMR to get you into the real good stuff quicker. Now the problem is for people who are trash, they're going to be stuck in probably what is, well, maybe not in Overwatch because it's only for the first 5 games, but in Marvel Rivals, you get stuck in a bot loop, right? So essentially, say you lose like 3 or 4 games in quick play and they start putting you in bot lobbies. Say you win a couple games, but then you lose another 3 games. You don't know if it was your fault or something you did to make you lose, or if it was the fact that maybe you had more bots on your team than the enemy did. Say you've got 3 bots on your team and they got 1. So that basically it's 3 humans and 3 bots versus essentially a full team of humans with 1 bot. Like, the bots could be screwing you over. You know what I'm saying? So the thing that they created to help you have fun might be screwing you over. So I don't think that's going to happen necessarily in Overwatch because it's only like the first 5 matches of your brand new account. So it is what it is, but I still don't like the idea. So, the Defense Matrix Initiative has caught 800,000 cheaters in Overwatch 2. So, it says Blizzard states that their efforts over the past year have successfully prevented multiple hacks. They plan to focus on detecting cheaters more quickly and minimizing their impact on the game. So, this is always a good thing. There's been a lot of cheaters in Overwatch 2 lately. You know what I'm saying? If you go to any Overwatch streamer, they've got like a spectating, cheaters episode type of deal. So yeah. So the real thing about it is 400,000 of those cheaters decided to make new accounts and come back. The other 400 decided to take their business to somewhere where they were wanted, so they started playing Marvel Rivals. Okay, so the last bit of Overwatch news, we have this story about the Lucio skin. So just the gist of the story, they put this Lucio recolor in the shop to sell, and then they turned around and gave that same Lucio skin away for free if you watch the Overwatch event on the 12th. So people got mad, like, wait a minute, I just bought this skin and now you give it away for free? That's crazy. So they gave people back their refunds. Plus, you get a new Baptiste recolor of the best Bap skin, by the way. So that's the thing. Everybody been talking about that. You know, there's been a lot of lip yapping about these refunds. So we move on to the favorite segment of this show. What's wrong with Marvel Rivals? So it says female Marvel Rivals players are fed up with constant misogyny and as toxic gamers hurl vulgar, disgusting, sexist comments in game. So now here's the thing. This is something that you get with a lot of games, to be honest. All right, this is not like a specific Marvel Rivals issue, but I've seen this come across my timeline multiple times. So I was like, you know, it must be a real problem. So it says Marvel Rivals is one of the most popular live service games ever, with endless content planned for the future, with a new hero coming every month and a half, and events like ongoing Lunar New Year celebration, which they stole from Overwatch, by the way. The game's developers are working hard to make sure every player is having fun, except for those players that get stuck in the bot lobbies. However, like any multiplayer game, it seems that there are some unsavory gamers that are ruining the game for others, with female gamers particularly targeted via the Rivals in-game chat. One thing about this, I will have to say, is Marvel Rivals does feel kind of like the Wild Wild West of internet games. Like, it doesn't feel as bad as like a COD lobby, but it feels close though. I'm like, okay, that's one thing I'll give to them. They don't really moderate the game that much, which can be kind of a good thing for an old man like me, because it makes me feel like the old days where we used to, you know, sling slurs on people and do all kind of stuff. But at the flip side though, it's also kind of a bad look in the modern day, because there's a lot of casual people and there's a lot more gamers nowadays that they're not built like that. You know what I'm saying? And while I would love the days of slur slingage to return, I understand that people they don't want that in their escapism. So it is what it is. So it says a post on Marvel Rivals subreddit by user SoupCorrect2910, that, to be honest, if that's your name, no wonder you get bullied. That better not be your in-name game. I might bully you for that one. All right. Warned other players not to both use comms if you are a female. While the gamer loves playing Marvel Rivals, ranked Rivals, their experience has been ruined by vulgar, disgusting, sexist comments almost every match. In the Reddit post, the gamer explained that it's become genuinely frustrating to play with others unmuted while they want to communicate with their team for better collaboration and coordination. The massive abuse hurled by randoms online has made it impossible. It is genuinely frustrating how as soon as I say something, I am called a whore, or times where if I say something, they just say good girl over and over again. The player or people will be like, GG, we got a girl on the team. And just dog me all the game while I'm playing perfectly fine. So yeah, now that sounds about right. And it's kind of terrible. I mean, it kind of sucks. Like if I would never bully somebody just because they're a girl in the game. If anything, it's pretty good to hear a nice voice over the game in-game chat sometime. All right, because I know a lot of these games are sausage fest, and you know it's good to hear a nice sounding voice over the headset, especially if they're good at the game. I have a lot of respect for actual girl gamers, you know, so girls that want to play video games. They're as big a fan as I am. I got a great deal of respect for that. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to sell me no OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? You're not like a titty streamer. You just out here, you know, grinding like us. I feel it. That's what's up. But this kind of happens to everybody. All right, all right. Everybody gets crap in in these lobbies. You know what I'm saying? So we move on from this stuff. We move on to Multiverses, another superhero game that copied off a more popular game. This time it was a Smash Brothers clone for DC Universe. So Multiverses said, it's been an incredible ride, MVPs, but thank you for all your support. For more details, please visit our blog post. Season 5 will serve as the final update for Multiverses, beginning 2/4/25 and ending in 5/30/25. After Season 5 ends, players will be able to enjoy the game offline for the foreseeable foreseeable future. Too many F words in that sentence. So basically, it's dead. It's gone. It's done. So I have kind of mixed feelings about this because I kind of liked Multiverses. I thought the idea was good. The only problem is, like, when it came back, because this is the second time the Multiverses has died. When it came back, for whatever reason, it just felt way slower. You know, it just felt way slower, you know. And of course, a lot of people were not happy with the monetization, but people said it about like every, free to play games as a service game. Like, oh, the monetization sucks, because how else will the game make money? It's free to play. But yeah, I thought the game just felt way slower than it did before, and it just kind of died. So F's in the chat for old Multiverses, Maybe they can take that Multiverses money and make themselves a Marvel Rivals clone with DC heroes. That would be kind of fire. All right, take some of that market share from them. Next story we have Anime News and Facts says Kyoto Animation Arsonist death sentence has been finalized and will be carried out. Shinji Oba, the person responsible for the arson that killed 36 people and wounded 32 others in 2019, has withdrawn his own appeal against the death sentence. So, basically, if you don't remember this or you don't know what's going on, Kyoto Animation, they had a studio in Japan back in 2019, and a guy who was angry that he felt like his idea was stolen, because he put, in Japan, they have these manga contests where you send in ideas or writing prompts or whatever, and if you win, they'll publish your manga. They'll make your manga to a full story, and then you'll be able to like become a mangaka. So he sent in his story, and he felt like Kyoto Animation copied his story for like I think it was Violet Evergarden, or I can't remember what show he said they made that copied his story, but he said that they copied his story. And so he set the studio on fire that was full of people, and quite a few people, 36 people died. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to say Shinji Oba, rest in peace. So Elliot Page developing a Beyond Two Souls television show. So this is funny. I mean, Beyond Two Souls was actually kind of a good game. The story was kind of weird because, again, it was a David Cage story. But it is kind of interesting. I think it would actually benefit from being a show because you have a longer time to tell the story. Because the main problem with the game is that it felt like there were parts missing. It felt like they cut out chunks of the story to try to fit it all into a game. So a TV show would actually work for this. The thing is, how do you deal with the main character? Because Elliot Page was the main character back in the day. So, like, do you race swap the main? I'm not race swap. Do you gender swap the main character from being a female to male? Would that be like, or do you say the character became trans, or does Elliot have to like Mrs. Doubtfire the sucker? Is he gonna have to? Wow, this is the hardest one I've ever done. Is he gonna have to flex his acting chops with this one? You know what I'm saying? Hey, going full Miss Doubtfire might be kind of interesting. That might be a selling point for this show. All right, so the other piece of news we have here is Sony. So Sony had a huge restructuring over the last couple of days. So it says Hideki Nishino has been appointed as CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. Nishino was the co-head of PlayStation with Herman Hulse, who was the former CEO, who is now been dethroned. Nishino will retain his title as CEO of Platform Business Group. Herman Hulse will retain his title of CEO of Studio Business Group, but will now report to Nishino. Lin Tao will replace Totoki as CEO of Sony Group. Her replacement will be confirmed at a later date. And Hiroyuki Totoko will be replacing Kenshiro Yoshida as the president and CEO of Sony Group. Lots of shakeups at Sony. Totoki-san clearly didn't like something he saw whilst temporarily in charge of SIE. Probably all of the console games. All right, because one thing that's been happening with Sony Entertainment is that they've been canceling a lot of their like games as a service projects. There's been a Horizon one that got canceled, a God of War one got canceled, a Last of Us one got canceled. So I don't know how many of these have gotten canceled in the wake of Concord failing, but Concord did a number on Sony. All right, and so much so that they've been quietly canceling a whole lot of games. So this shakeup is pretty huge. And then, of course, right as the shakeup happened, Sony's stocks hit the highest price ever following corporate restructuring. So basically, people was like, oh, thank God there's an Asian running Sony again. Sony is saved. Oh, snap. So, the last story for the evening here is our second 4chan text dump. Thank you for all of you guys who stayed till this part of the video. I know these videos have been kind of long, but there's been a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. You know, I'm going to try to shorten them in the future, but, you know, it is what it is. So this one is a Scarlet and Violet grand finale. So, basically, DLC. Alright, so I've been harking on the fact that there could be a third DLC for Scarlet and Violet for a while, okay? That yellow gorilla Pokemon is still out there, and we need to bring that man home, okay? Alright, so it says a live-action trailer was filmed this year showcasing a boy meeting up with three friends, visiting a metropolis, and meeting a man with his arms crossed in front of a skyscraper. Free update available after the presents. If you purchase the DLC, the battle frontier will be open in Paldea, an inaccessible area on the map. You start off completing 3 battles in the battle tower with 4 buildings opening up. There are mostly original characters who control the facilities, but Barry returns and is the new director of the battle tower. There is a sixth sub facility titled the Tantalizing Terra Tower. You can also be online, and that can also be played online, and you can be a Terra raid boss while 3 other players take you down before the timer runs out. Different rewards depending on who wins the battle. Battle points return, and there is an NPC who comments on how blueberry points can be used as BP. How they sound similar. You can team up with Nimona for multi-battles. She also has a new outfit now. The 4 land spirit Pokemon return, and Snackworth can give you their treats to obtain them. Some information not in the trailer includes Meltan, Melmetal now being transferable. Victini is gifted to you after you complete the 5 main battle facilities. Celebi is able to be caught in the Timeless Woods. Grisumi is the final Pokemon in the Paldea Dex and is a mythical. It is a Fire Fairy Fireworks Pokemon. Okay, yeah, this is probably fake. I haven't heard anything about a fireworks Pokemon. I thought that was gonna be the monkey. I thought that was gonna be the monkey, man. So this all actually sounds pretty cool. All right. The fact that it's there's a free portion, but also there's a paid portion is pretty interesting. I think that this could very well be a part of like a definitive edition of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that they would sell on Switch 2, you know, with maybe some kind of performance and graphics pack, you know, which I think would actually do pretty good. The thing is, like, you know, are people willing to double dip into Scarlet and Violet, especially when Legend ZA is gonna be out around that time? That's a good question. So, tell me what you think down in the comments down below. Tell me what you think of the new double 4chan format. Tell me about any of the stories that you've heard today. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.